Welcome to this gentle yoga flow, finding your center, which is such an important thing for us to do, to be in the inquiry of being centered in our day-to-day lives. When we're centered, we're more grounded, we are able to live from a place of self-awareness and self-trust. And in our world these days, there's so much going on that can throw us off of our center. There's all kinds of stresses and challenges that the world is facing. And my hope is that this practice and other practices that so many yoga teachers are bringing practices of yoga online, and that's so wonderful. So I'm very grateful to see that surge moving forward, and I seek to contribute to that in the best way that I can. So for this practice today, we'll be working with centering and a gentle flow of movement to help calm the nervous system. So whatever you have to practice on at home is fine, whether a yoga mat or if you're just on the surface in your home of a blanket or a towel. Make sure you have something extra, whether a pillow or an extra blanket that you might put under your knees or sit on or cover up with throughout the practice. So you can prepare with those things. No need for fancy yoga props in this practice today. We'll begin with finding a comfortable seat. So you're welcome to sit, maybe cross-legged, maybe with the legs extended. You might be sitting up on that extra prop that you have, or folding or rolling your own yoga mat underneath you. As you're settling in, I'll just mention that this practice is for you to listen to your own body. I will guide and you can follow your wisdom. So if there's a moment, a movement, a position, a shape that doesn't feel quite right for you that I'm offering, you can change it. You can be in your inquiry, and you can also pop me a message, a comment on this video, or a personal message with any questions that are coming up in your practice. Okay. So as you're finding this position called Sukhasana, which is sweet pose, we want it to feel sweet. So that bit of elevation of the pelvis upward helps. Legs can cross or extend. The spine is tall. Looking for sweetness in your pose. You can go ahead and close through the eyes or keep a very soft gaze, just letting in the light. As you begin to notice the feeling of the earth beneath you, the ground supporting the body, perhaps noticing the contact shared between the legs, the hips, the sitting bones, the feet, all rooting downward, connected with the earth. Beginning to notice a feeling of lengthening through the spine. You might imagine that you are like a plant that has roots stretching down, and yet there's a lengthening as your stem or your trunk starts to grow upward, lengthening through the crown, the back of the neck growing long. Becoming aware of your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. As you continue to breathe, notice that the breath is starting to slow down and deepen. Perhaps sensing that each inhalation is expanding, filling the lower lungs, so the belly expands, middle ribs and upper chest expand. And allowing your exhale to be nice and long and slow and relaxed. So we're breathing in to expand the belly, the middle ribs, the upper chest. And breathing out to release and relax. The breath may be naturally deepening and elongating as you pay attention to it. And this connection with your breath is starting to draw you into the present moment. As you begin to notice how you've landed here. Welcoming the physical body, the emotional body, the energetic bodies, the nervous system, your whole state of being. Begin to welcome this multi-dimensional self with compassion, without judgment. The thinking mind is starting to relax. So all the thoughts, stories, and details of our lives and of the world, just for now, can start to soften. As the breath starts to bring awareness down into the body and into the present. Sensing perhaps even a little bit of lengthening of your exhale, which helps to calm the nervous system. The inhale is natural and full, and the exhale is long and slow. And our awareness continues to expand through the body, softening thoughts as we're shifting from thinking and analyzing into feeling and sensing, calming and centering. So begin to notice your center, which in the physical body is the spine, but also exists as an energetic center. And begin just to sort of notice your tailbone and even start to move your tailbone a little bit, like your tailbone's rocking forward and back. So the pelvis starts to move along with that movement, just a gentle rocking of the pelvis and the tailbone that helps you to get in touch with the rest of your spine. You might be imagining the movement of the spine very fluid here, floating, spacious, long and tall. And let that just gentle, subtle movement start to arrive back in stillness as you really locate the feeling of your root, your tailbone grounding downward. Even your two sitting bones, part of that root, like a triangle of the sitting bones and tailbone rooting down as a foundation. And from that root, begin to inhale and lengthen from the root up through the length of your spine, as if you can let the breath pass over each vertebrae until all the way up through the back of the neck lengthens and the crown shines upward. When you exhale, let your breath pour back down, just as if it's again traveling the length of your spine. So that this is a very sort of intuitive experience, just continuing inhaling up the length of the spine, feeling spacious and tall. And letting your exhale flow back down the length of your spine, back towards your tailbone, to your root. So there's no wrong way to do this. You're just starting to explore the feeling of locating your center with awareness, your physical and your energetic center. Knowing that in times of stress or overwhelm, it can be very easy to be knocked off center, to feel ungrounded. So we know here that we can come back to our centers. So allow your breath to continue flowing up and down the center line of your body. The physical spine, but it's also the energetic spine that's known as Sushumna, this word Sushumna in the yogic energy anatomy. So if you're someone who is drawn to visualization, you might imagine the Sushumna Nadi, the channel as a particular color. Maybe it's a golden pathway that's flowing up and down. Maybe it's another color that you feel drawn to. Or the colors of the rainbow flowing up and down. And taking just a few more of these long and slow breaths up and down the length of your spine, your Sushumna Nadi. As we begin to find movement, we'll be moving from our centers. But we have been sitting for a few minutes already, so if you'd like to stretch out through the legs before we move more, you might stretch the legs out, roll your ankles, point and flex your feet, wave the feet, let the knees bounce a little, maybe even do a little rub or pat down your legs. And then you can refresh your seated position, maybe if you like returning to cross-legged or stretching the legs out. And then see if you can again access your center, growing tall up through the spine from tailbone to crown. And let's begin to move our shoulders. So we'll roll our shoulders gently up and down and around and round. Beautiful. And as you continue, you might like to roll one shoulder a little differently than the other, like your backstroke moving your shoulders, or like a forward swimming movement. Beautiful. Let's let our shoulders soften back and down and pause there. Inhale. Let's sweep our arms out and up like you're drawing the spring sun around you. Draw the palms together. And exhale the hands down to the heart. You may bow the head. Surya Pranayama, the sun breath. Inhaling, drawing the sun around you, arms like rays of the sun. Exhaling that light, that warmth, that hope into your heart. Let's follow our breath. So feel as though you're welcoming the hope of the spring. Every spring, we have hope. We welcome back life. Nature starts to wake up. We start to move out of the heaviness of the winter. There's a lightness, there's a renewal. So begin to breathe into that. You might even like to suspend the breath for even just a slight moment at the top and at the bottom of the breath. These energetic holds of the breath helping us to strengthen our prana, our life force energy. Just a moment at the top and at the bottom of the breath within your comfortable capacity. And the next time the hands are at the heart, let's pause there. Interlace the hands and press the palms forward as you round your spine back, tucking chin, rounding your back. With an inhale, lift and lengthen the arms up to the sky. Press the palms upward. Let the shoulders glide back and down. Let's do a little side to side sway of the upper body here. Good, and come through center, release the arms down, twirl your wrists and wiggle the fingers like spring rain falling down. With hands landing on the thighs or the knees, we'll start to move the spine. Inhaling, the heart lifts forward, the tailbone lifts up, and exhaling, rounding the spine back, tucking the chin and tailbone under. Inhaling, the heart lifts forward, tailbone up. Exhaling, the spine rounds back, so flowing here with your breath. As you're moving in this way, can you come back to the feeling of your center? So can you stay centered even as you're moving your spine? Can you stay aware of moving from your center? So important to move our bodies to help loosen stagnation, to clear space, to shift energy, to shift emotion, to bring health and mobility and function into our bodies. So as you're continuing with this flow, let's add just a little bit more to it. So the next time you inhale the heart forward, let your arms blossom open like heart wings. And then as you exhale, draw the palms together, do a little rounding like you're bowing to yourself, to your own wisdom and truth. So we'll inhale, blossom and open wide, and exhale, our palms joining together at the heart. Follow your breath here. And the next time you open the arms wide, pause there, feeling the gentle lift in the heart. And then lower your fingertips down just behind your hips and lean back, rolling your shoulder blades together and lifting the heart. Feeling the gentle spaciousness and openness and room here to breathe. Good. Releasing the spine back through center. Bringing your right hand beside you. Inhale, the left arm sweeps up and over to the right side. Pausing here for a moment. Notice your left side hip grounding towards the earth. Good. Let's breathe in and float up and over to the other side. Left arm lowers down, right arm extends long, finding your breath. Floating gently back up. Let's flow from side to side here. Just a few more times. So you can move with your own pace. If you feel called to holding for a few more breaths, you can. Or you might join me in floating from one side to the other. Beautiful. So the next time you find yourself hinging to the right side like a waxing moon, pause there, reaching long through the left fingertips, feeling even long in the neck. Breathe. And then we'll bow down, the heart towards the right thigh, the left arm coming forward in front. And then inhale and sweep the arm back up, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale, rounding down, tuck the chin in, draw the arm forward and down. Inhale, the heart shines upward, following your movement of breath here for a few more rounds. Until the next time you lift the heart, pause, bend the left elbow, take the hand to the back of the head, and gently lift your heart upward. Breathing. Good, and then we'll release back through neutral and to the other side. Left arm touches down, right arm extends long, feeling your breath. And then rounding down, the heart bowing towards this left thigh, and then inhaling, the right arm sweeps up, the heart lifts, the gaze lifts, following your flow of breath here. And the next time you lift the heart up, bend the right elbow, take the hand to the back of the head, holding the weight of the head as you lift the heart for another breath or two. And then gently rising up, release the arms down, a few gentle circles with the shoulders. Good, let's draw the shoulders back and down, bring your right arm at your side and cross your left hand to your right leg. Inhale, lengthen. With your exhale, gently turn towards the right, turning from your waist up to your crown. And then relaxing back through center, and we'll cross the right hand to the left leg, left arm at your side. Breathing in to grow tall, and breathing out to rotate towards the left side. And gently releasing back to center, bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and pausing there. You may close the eyes. Settle into your breath and feel the effects of our practice thus far. Returning to a felt sense of being in your center. Breathing, feeling from your center. Let's lower the hands down and make a transition over onto your hands and knees. So as you're coming over to tabletop, which is a position on hands and knees, if you need any extra padding for your knees or for your wrists, what you might do is fold your own mat or use a blanket or a pillow. For wrists, if wrists are ever uncomfortable with weight bearing, making a little fold in your mat can help, bringing the fold just under the palms of the hands. So from our neutral table pose, let's do a few rounds of the cat and dog. We'll inhale to lower the belly, lift the heart, the tail, and the crown up. As you exhale, round, tuck the chin under, tuck the tailbone, press up through the back of your heart, and then flow back and forth with your own pace of breath here. The next time you pass through center, pause, spread your fingers wide apart, curl your toes under, and press up to a gentle downward facing dog. In this pose, we want to stay rooted through our hands. Tilt the hips and tailbone up and back so you can bend the knees quite deeply to find that length in your spine. And then you can walk your heels up and down, gently stretching through the backs of the legs, maybe a little sway of the hips. If down dog doesn't work for you at any time, you can explore being on the hands and knees or child's pose or whatever you feel called to. Good. From that down dog, let's lower our knees to the earth, untuck the toes, and press the hips back to the heels, finding child's pose. You might widen the knees a bit. Bowing down, you can also let the head rest on your arms or on the floor. Taking a few nourishing breaths here as you allow a softening and a relaxation into the support of the earth. You are supported. Let's gently float back up onto our hands and knees. Once you're there, we'll walk our hands forward just a bit. So what you're doing is you're finding more of a half plank. So you're shifting shoulders over wrists. Knees can be down. If you want to test that you're in half plank, you can tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and discover that you are in fact at the top of a push-up. And then you can lower the knees back down, but keep that same integrity in your core. From there, keeping your hands where they are, we'll exhale, our hips come back towards the heels, almost to child's pose, sort of like a puppy stretch. And then inhale, come back to your half plank, shoulders over wrists. So you're careful not to drop the belly here. So half plank pose, and then hips come back on the exhale. Inhaling, the shoulders over the wrists, back and forth. Awareness of your spine, awareness of your center. Our center, including our core in this inquiry. So you're hugging in around the low belly. The next time you come to that half plank position, pause there. So again, it's different from table. Our hands are forward under shoulders like you're in a half push-up. And then we'll keep our core strong, our back nice and straight as we lower down the heart towards the earth. Ground through the tops of your feet. Inhale, squeeze the glutes and lift the heart into a baby cobra. So you want to be low here. You can even lift your hands to make sure you're using your core to lift up, not your hands or your arms. Finding your breath, squeezing through the glutes, lifting the heart. And then exhale, lower down. With your inhale, press up through a little half plank. And exhale back to that puppy stretch, child's pose variation. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, low plank, lowers down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift the heart. Exhale, lower down. Now we're moving with breath. Inhale, press yourself back up, use the core. Half plank. Exhale, that puppy child's pose. Stretch, hips come back, hands stay where they are. Inhale, coming forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lower down with control. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the heart, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, down. Inhale, press up through a half plank, half push up. Exhale, hips back. One last time, let's inhale forward. Exhale, down. Inhale, baby cobra, Bhujangasana. This time holding and stretching your arms back behind you, and then add lifting the legs. Legs are floating up, thighs are spiraling towards each other, heart is lifting. If it feels delightful, you can interlace the hands together at the lower back. Breathing here. Soften down and turn one ear to the earth, letting everything melt. The belly breathing like an umbilical cord connecting to Mother Earth. Draw the head back to center. Gently root through the pelvis as you inhale. Lift the arms, the legs, the chest, the shoulders, the head. We're back in Navasana, the boat pose. Shoulder blades spiraling towards each other as the heart lifts. Glutes are strong. Our hips are squeezing in. Breathe. Softening down. Your other ear comes to the earth. This time lifting your feet up and letting your feet, your lower legs, windshield wiper from side to side, releasing the lower back. Beautiful. Feet can come back down. Draw the head to center. Slide your hands under the shoulders and then gently press yourself back up through that half plank. This time to really linger into child's pose. So you might widen the knees, bow down, make a pillow for the head if you'd like. Let go. And let's gently come back up onto our hands and knees. A few rounds of cat and dog, or called cat and cow. We inhale, heart, tail, and crown lift. Exhaling, rounding, tucking chin and tailbone under, flowing with breath. And the spine passes through neutral as you spread your fingers wide, curl the toes under, and press your hips high up to the sky. Here you might lift and lower the heels again, exploring downward facing dog. In this time in down dog, you may like to stretch one leg up to the sky. I'll just let you play with that. If you'd like to lift one leg up, go ahead and do that, taking your time to transition to the other side when you're ready. Or any other variation that is arising in your body. And then we'll lower the two knees down to the earth, untuck the toes, and we'll come into a posture called puppy. So we keep our hips over the knees, different than child's pose. We walk our arms forward until they're about straight, and then we let the heart melt down, head towards the earth. If the shoulders are very tight and tense here, try widening the arms a bit wider apart. And let your breath flow into the space between the shoulder blades. Taking just another few breaths here. As you gently lift yourself back up, let's transition to a seated position. So you can come to sit. Again, if you'd like to sit on a prop, feel free. Wonderful. So let's first draw the soles of our feet together and sit nice and tall. You might like to flutter the knees up and down, or even a couple rotations of the shoulders. And then pausing with the knees softening into gravity, with the spine growing tall. If there's a lot of tension in your hips, you can always grab extra bed pillows and slide them under the thighs, or extra rolled towels or blankets. Good. So let's inhale and blossom our hearts, extending our arms to the sides. And then exhale, wrap your right arm on top of your left and give yourself a nice hug across the upper body. Pausing here, letting your breath flow into the back of the heart. You can stay here, or you can weave the arms towards each other in Garudasana, or eagle arms, where you're tucking one elbow into the other, the back of the arms towards each other, maybe the fingers touching palms. Breathing here. Accessing your center again from tailbone up to crown. And let's inhale and sweep our arms open again, blossom through the heart. Exhale, left arm on top, hugging across the upper body. Again, you can stay here, or the arms may weave towards each other. And breathe. Let's gently release the arms and soften the fingertips behind your hips so you can lean back, roll the shoulder blades together, and pause here with a little lift of the heart and also the gaze, feeling spacious across the heart and the throat. And then we'll return to a neutral spine, letting arms be wherever they're comfortable. Inhale to elongate, and you're welcome to stay up tall, or you can start a gentle bow of your heart downward, keeping your spine straight at first. And then if it feels comfortable, you can round a little bit into it. Feeling your breath expanding in the back body and down into the hips, into the low belly and inner thighs and low back. Let's take a few more breaths here, knowing you're also welcome to invite in movement if you feel drawn to a little rocking or swaying in the torso. And gently we'll let the spine ascend back upward with an inhale, lengthening tall. Pausing upright, closing the eyes, feeling the effect. And then letting the right ear soften down towards the right shoulder. Gentle stretch into the left side of the neck. And you can also point your nose up or down, or draw some shapes with the nose. And lifting the head up to center and over to the other side, letting the left ear soften towards the left shoulder where you might stay, or you can point the nose down or up, or draw some little shapes with your nose. Gently lifting the head back up to center, noticing if there are any other little movements you'd like to make for the neck, listening to your body. And then let's bring our hands together at the heart, the pinkies and the thumbs touching. Let the inner 3 fingers on each hand blossom open. Close the eyes down and bring into your awareness a spring flower that you love. Breathing into hope, the hope that spring brings. Renewal. At any time of year, we can breathe into life force and energy here in the heart, blossoming and opening like gratitude. And let's gently release, interlace the hands together and bring just a little fluidity into your wrists for a few circles, and then a little press of the palms out as you round back. From there, release the arms to help bring the knees back towards each other. Give yourself a little hug. You might wrap your arms around the shins and just tuck in for a little loving hug. Good, and then we'll come down onto our backs. So you can go ahead and come onto your back body. Once you're there, with your knees bent and feet on the floor, your arms at your sides, we'll press actively through the feet and inhale, lift your hips and your belly up to the sky into bridge pose. You can hold your bridge, maybe tucking the shoulder blades towards each other, squeezing through the glutes, lifting the heart towards the chin. Feeling the nice spaciousness of the front body, another posture wonderful for that feeling of upliftment and opening. When you're ready to come out, you can hold a few more breaths, but if you're ready to come out, smooth out the back and locate your center as you roll vertebra by vertebra down to the earth. From there, you may like to just rest, or you may hug your knees into your chest and do a little rocking, swaying, circling. And then we'll lower our 2 feet to the floor and stretch the arms out open like a T with the palms up. We're coming into a spinal twist. You can start by lifting your hips like you're coming into bridge, but then shift your hips over to the left side and lower them back down. So they've shifted to the left a few inches. From there, you can let the knees lift and lower over to the right side. And you can wiggle around to make yourself comfortable here. Feel free to really wiggle in the shoulders and the hips. You can slide an extra pillow under the knees or between the knees if that would be a bit more comfortable for you. Maybe the head is centered or rolling towards the opposite side, towards the left. Taking a few breaths just to settle here and to relax into gravity. Allowing each exhalation to be even just slightly longer than the inhale, which encourages the nervous system to come into relaxation. The inhale full and expansive, the exhale long and slow and relaxed. Let's take just a few more breaths here. We'll gently let the knees come back through center, the head to center. The feet come to the floor so you could and again, lift your hips up and over, this time to the right side a few inches. From there, you can let the knees lift and lower over to the left. You might be reaching for a pillow to place under the knees or between the knees, or you can bring in any little adjustments that help you to get comfortable, maybe wiggling in the shoulders and the hips. You may turn the head towards your right side as well, relaxing into gravity, breath flowing long and slow. And we'll take a few more breaths here. And gently, when you're ready, letting the head float to center, letting the knees gently float back up, shifting your spine to center. You may let the knees come in towards the chest here, massaging the back with gentle movement. And I encourage you to take your time now to explore any final movement, any final stretch that you feel drawn to as you are making your way towards a final relaxation. So take your time to be in the inquiry of your body, of your wisdom. What final movements may come through intuitively now? Maybe it's a stretch that we've already explored. Maybe it's something else that your body is just asking for now. Taking your time and listening to your wisdom. Knowing that whenever you feel ready, you can come into Shavasana, the final relaxation pose, in which you're laying down on the back, stretching out in a comfortable way. The knees can be bent with the feet on the floor, the legs can extend, the arms can rest on the body or beside the body. You can reach for warm layers if you'd like to put on socks or grab a blanket to place over the body, pillow for your head, whatever would make you comfortable. Even a little bit of a light covering for your eyes can be nice, whether it's an eye pillow or even just a light scarf or a piece of clothing that can come over the eyes just to block out that light. If being on the back isn't comfortable, you can lay on your side, or you can do seated meditation, or even lay on your belly. So this is your practice. And as you're discovering your comfort here in Shavasana, allow the eyes to close if they're not already. Begin to sense the feeling of the earth beneath you, holding you and supporting you. Allow the breath to be natural and effortless. Trusting that the body knows how to breathe. The body knows how to breathe for relaxation and ease. And that's right, continuing to soften, to let go even more. The body releasing into the support of Mother Earth. Tension starting to unwind and release. As the body relaxes, so does the mind. Softening, relaxing the thinking mind. Spacious, relaxed. The heart in your center, radiant, alive with compassion and love, as a natural state of being. Centered in the heart, a place of trust, wholeness, safety. Relaxing and letting go. Even more. The radiance of your heart center expands like a sun that's shining to bring warmth and light and hope and renewal. And trust that there's nothing you need to do. It's simply resting. And as you rest here in the home of your center, begin to notice the breath. Notice that this breath is arising from your center. Trust that as you move forward from this practice, you will continue to carry with you this state of being centered, grounded, clear, whole. So begin to notice the breath and really let the breath flow up and down that central channel from tailbone to crown and back down again, as if massaging the Sushumna Nadi, the central channel. Begin to welcome yourself back to this time and space, hearing the sounds that surround you and feeling the air on your skin and the touch of the ground beneath you. You can gradually wiggle your fingers and toes or let the head rock side to side. Know that if you need more rest, you can disregard the transition and just stay resting. But if you're ready to reawaken, maybe a stretch comes through, maybe you find a few shapes that help you transition. You may like to roll to your side and rest there for a few breaths. Offering yourself gratitude wherever you are. So if you're transitioning from the practice, you can come up to sit in a comfortable way, so we'll close together. As you rise, bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and close through the eyes. Return to your breath. Feel the arms and hands as extensions of the heart, giving thanks to yourself and honoring yourself. Trusting that as you take care of yourself, you're taking care of those around you. When we come home to ourselves and start here, peace in ripples outward. Peace in, peace out. And let's gather our hands to the heart center, palm to palm, and I'll offer you a mantra. If you are familiar, you can join in. And I'll sing this mantra 3 times as a prayer of peace and wellness and health for all beings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, peaceful, and free, and well. And may our lives contribute to this happiness, peace, freedom, and wellness for all. Namaste. So thank you so much for joining me in this practice here. I'm honored to be a part of your life and your practice in this way. Please be in touch if any questions are coming up, any comments or insights, inquiries. Happy to connect, would love to connect. And please also consider commenting on the video here on YouTube. If you have yourself signed into YouTube, you should be able to comment. I also, of course, welcome shares and passing it around. So thank you so much, and much love to you all. Thank you. Blessings. Namaste.